everybody! It's me! It's old Reverend Bill! Please help me welcome my friend, Vance Dykes!
Hey everybody, how are you? I hope y'all are doing well out there. And if you're not, go see a doctor. Don't watch my videos. They're not here to improve your health, they're here for your entertainment. I used to watch the Nightmare on Elm Street films when I was a kid, and I saw some pretty petrifying things that were not meant for 6-year-olds to see. There's a reason why those films were rated R. You're probably not going to believe me, but in all the years that I've watched Nightmare on Elm Street, I never once had a nightmare about Freddy Krueger. Not once. Isn't that strange? Yeah. But that doesn't mean I was never afraid of him, though. Seriously. I mean, every night after watching a Nightmare on Elm Street film, I would get into bed and I would be afraid that Freddy Krueger was going to come out of a dark corner and kill me, you know? I constantly looked over my shoulder to make sure that he wasn't behind me. And then I would get into bed, and then 3 hours later I would hear a loud noise coming from the kitchen, like a pot falling off the counter and onto the tiled floor. And that would scare the crap out of me. I would jump out of bed and I would scream at the top of my lungs, "Freddy Krueger's in the house!" I woke up half the neighborhood that night. I went to a Jewish synagogue in Maitland, Florida because I'm fascinated with the Jewish culture, and after temple services, we all went to the fellowship hall where we all had dessert, and I was in line for chocolate cake, and there was this guy behind me, and he tapped me on my back because I'm about like 6'7", or maybe a few inches taller. Whoa. That was a big one. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. I was in line for chocolate cake, and this guy was behind me. He tapped me on my back because I'm about like 6'7" or a few inches taller, and he couldn't reach my shoulder. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he said, "I had no idea that Jews were as tall as you are." And that's when I said to him, "I'm sorry, sir, I'm not Jewish." And then he turned to his buddy and he said, "You see, I told you Goliath wasn't a Jew." I didn't say anything. I just went to my seat and had my cake. Let me just take this moment right now to say that I'm very sorry that I haven't been posting any videos on YouTube or any bulletins informing my subscribers what is going on. It's just, I've been really busy with college, you know, trying to get my education so I can go and become a police officer like I've always wanted to be since I was a kid. And also trying to get out of my parents' house so I can live my own life, you know? I've been so busy with school lately that I've literally cut off all contact to intelligent life on Earth. I mean, I was doing my homework one night, and my mother came in and she gave me my clean clothes, and I looked at her and I said, "Do I know you?" And then she slapped me in my face. She thought I was being a smart aleck. She's been real busy all day, just doing nothing but work, work, work. And then she left. I didn't say anything, I just went back to work. Logarithms. I've been so busy that it's been a while since I played video games just as well. You know? It's been so long that I don't even remember how to play certain video games anymore. You know, games that I used to play when I was a kid, like the Super Mario Brothers. Oh, I love Super Mario Brothers, man. I mean, I played almost every single Super Mario Brothers game ever created. I mean, Super Mario World, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3, 4, and even Baby Mario. And I also used to play Donkey Kong Country and Zelda Link to the Past. Yeah. And I was playing Smash Brothers with my friends for the Nintendo 64, and I got my butt whooped by Donkey Kong. Yeah, I mean, I was having a good time. I was showing Super Mario who's boss, and then the gorilla jumped 50 feet into the air, and then he slammed me into the pavement. And I was dead instantaneously. Yeah. The funny thing about that was, everybody that was playing the game, except for me, everybody was wearing black. Yeah. Like they expected me to die. I don't think I'll ever play that game again. I remember when I was 10 years old, my family and I, we went to Six Flags in Ohio for a family weekend getaway. And NSYNC was on the radio playing their song, Bye Bye Bye. And I was singing it in my sister's ear to annoy her. Yeah. Heaven forbid that I ever bring a Game Boy with me to play Super Mario Brothers. No. I gotta make my sister mad so she can beat the crap out of me. So, every time the chorus came up, I would sing it in her ear, you know, be like, ain't no lie, baby, bye, 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 bye. The funny thing about that was, she never punched my face in. I mean, never. I don't know why, but whatever. I'm glad she didn't. I think the reason why she didn't hit me was because Justin Timberlake was singing and she wanted to hear her beau sing. Yeah. My sister loved Justin Timberlake. She loved him so much, she literally worshipped him like a Greek god. I mean, she even prayed to him. You think I'm kidding? No, I am not kidding. I was walking by her room one night and I could hear her pray to him. I heard her say, word for word, "Oh, Justin Timberlake, I love you so much. Thank you for being so hot and so sexy. Please come to Michigan so I can meet you and touch you and kiss you and marry you. Please let me be Mrs. Timberlake. Amen." Well, my family and I, when we went to Six Flags, my father and I, we got on this go-kart ride, which was a lot of fun, and we had a good time. We were racing each other. I was trying to beat my dad. He was trying to beat me. And then the ride came to an end. And at the end of the ride, I forgot that go-karts, just like regular cars, have brakes. I'm not kidding you. I slammed into the back of my father's car, and he jumped out of his seat, groaning in agony. He was like, "Oh! Oh!" I broke his back. And he was furious with me, and all I could say was, "I'm sorry, Dad." And then he said, "Oh, you're gonna be sorry, all right." Family's funny, huh? Remember when you were a kid and you were sitting at the dining room table with your parents and your mother made this spinach that looked like somebody had already eaten it? And you looked at it and you were like, "Oh, that's disgusting." And your mother would say, "I don't want to hear it, young man. Eat." And let me tell you right now, you are not going to have any dessert until you eat that spinach. And you would constantly tell her how much you hated it because it didn't look good. You knew it was going to taste bad. You were just telling her, "Mommy, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it." And then she would tell you, "You know, there are some starving children in Africa that would love to have your food." Yeah, like that would ever get us to eat the green vomit that was on our plate. Yeah. Give me a break, will ya? And then you would say to yourself, well, if they want it, they can have it. And then your mother gave you that look and said, what did you say, young man? And then you said, nothing, nothing. And then she would say, yeah, that's what I thought you said. Now eat. And then you would wait until your mother wasn't looking. Then you would take the plate and you would give the spinach to your dog. And the dog would lick the plate clean. And you would slowly and quietly put the plate back on the table because you did not want your mother to know what was going on. And then you would lick your fingers while at the same time rubbing your belly. And then you would say, that was good, Mommy. And then she would give you that look like, how did you finish that whole plate in under a minute? And then another minute later, the dog would throw up the spinach on your mother's new carpet. And your mother would be so mad, your father would know that that would be the wrong time to ask her if she wanted to go upstairs for dessert. And then your mother would look at you, and you would look at her, and you would say, you see, I told you that stuff was disgusting. Stay tuned for the second video.